Welcome back. Protesters in Washington and across the country yesterday as Democrats try to cause chaos to push back on President Trump's agenda. The No Kings rally, funded largely by George Soros' Open Society Foundation, with more than $7 million awarded in grants to that group behind this particular protest. Despite the commander-in-chief's massive success these last 9 months, his opponents in the Democrat Party refused to support the Republicans' efforts to reopen government, as we now enter day 19 of a government shutdown. The president has freed up funding streams for numerous critical programs, including funding the military and other pay for federal workers to be paid this week, despite the shutdown. But the ability to do so lessens the longer that this stalemate goes on. More now from the president on the impact.
I know that things feel like they're going well, but we don't have any data. The government is shut down. How long is this going to last?
Yeah, look, the Democrats are kamikazes right now. They're kamikaze pilots right now. They have nothing going. They have no future. They have incompetent candidates. I mean, I looked at Crockett, Jasmine Crockett. She's a very low IQ person. She's polling okay in the Democrat Party. I can't even believe it. AOC is, I watched her the other day. It's like, you got to be kidding. This is not going to make our country great. And for us to have a communist mayor, it looks like we're going to in New York. He's not a socialist. He's a communist. And it'll be very interesting. But remember this.
Are you going to endorse anybody in New York?
Well,
Cuomo or Sliwa?
Yeah, I guess I haven't made a decision, really.
Sounds like you're leaning towards somebody.
Well, I think it's not good to have a communist, okay? Would I rather have a Democrat than a communist? Barely. They're almost becoming the same thing.
What about a Republican, Curtis Sliwa?
Well, look, I mean, I don't know. He's a Republican. Is he really a Republican? Am I a big fan? This isn't exactly ideal where he wants to make Gracie Mansion a home for the cats. You know, Gracie Mansion's a magnificent home of Fiorello, LaGuardia, and the great mayors, Rudy Giuliani. Yeah, Rudy Giuliani was the greatest mayor in the history of New York. He did a great job.
So you're going to get involved?
He went through hell. So I'll make a decision.
Soon?
Yeah, I guess.
It's only 3 weeks away. The mayor's race is 3 weeks away.
I don't know that I'm going to get involved. I don't want to be endorsing Democrats as an example. It's not my thing. But would you rather endorse a Democrat than a communist? Barely, because they're almost the same thing.
Well, Mamdani was on Fox the other day, and he would not give you credit for the peace deal. He said it's too early to tell.
I watched him a couple of times be interviewed, and he's pretty slick, but he doesn't have what it takes. He doesn't have what it takes. The city will be in big trouble.
Mr. President, do you think that the government shutdown is all about this rally that's happening this weekend, the No Kings rally?
No, I mean, some people say they want to delay it for that. A king. This is
more
not
than
a king. You know, they're referring to me as a king. I'm not a king.
Right. No, but just so that Chuck Schumer could go and say, I'm fighting Trump.
Yeah, well, Chuck is, at the end of the line. He's being beaten by everybody that they poll against him. And, what he did is he did the right thing a couple of years ago on something like this. And he got hurt by his party. And it doesn't, I don't think it matters to him. I think he's just so dead that he'll do anything. I think they could just stay out forever. I mean, to be honest with you. Now, what we're doing is we're cutting Democrat programs that we didn't want because, I mean, they made one mistake. They didn't realize that gives me the right to cut programs that Republicans never wanted. Giveaways, welfare programs, et cetera. And we're doing that, and we're cutting them permanently. We're cutting a $20 billion project that Schumer fought for 15 years to get, and I'm cutting the project. The project is going to be dead. It's pretty much dead right now.
Well, how significant will the layoffs be? Because now you've got a federal judge trying to stop you there as well, saying that any layoffs during a temporary shutdown is illegal.
These judges, I'm telling you, it's so terrible what's happening with the judges. When we want to go into a city to save the city, look at what we did in D.C. Washington, D.C. was a death trap. People would come from Iowa and Idaho and Florida, and they end up going home in a casket, right? They were killed. Now it's the safest city in the country. It took me 12 days to make it that way. 30 days to make it really good, 12 days to make it very good. And I'll tell you what, I'm so proud of the city. Do you see the way the city looks now?
It feels different, Mr. President, you're right.
It's
I mean,
clean.
Union Station was
Even
totally
the grass
clean.
is growing properly.
And
the
Union
whole
Station
thing.
looked good.
Union Station is a dream. It's a beautiful place. You couldn't walk through Union Station without getting accosted or mugged or hit over the head with a bat. We moved out 1,700 career criminals and criminals from other countries that came in through Biden's open border. You know, the worst thing that Biden did, and I don't really think it was him. I think it was, he's not an open border person. He doesn't, I really don't believe it. He was surrounded by radical left lunatics who were smart. And yet they've been after me for so many years, and how am I doing? Yeah, I'm president. Here we are in the White House. Are we in the White House? I think so,
yes.
Right? So we want to go in and do what we did in D.C. So we're in Chicago now. We're being met with, by the way, the people love us. The people want us there. I said, beautiful black women wearing MAGA caps all over the city. It's the most incredible thing. I love it. And they're all, you know, there's like MAGA. I think you had them on your program. They're MAGA all over the place. But the governor, who got thrown out of his business by his family because he's a dope, but the governor, Pritzker, he doesn't want us in. You know, if I were him, if I were a Democrat and I were him, I'd say, come on in. What do you have to lose?
And you're going to go to San Francisco next.
We're going to go to San Francisco. The difference is I think they want us in San Francisco. San Francisco was truly one of the great cities of the world. And then 15 years ago, it went wrong. It went woke. Remember my statement? Anything woke is, and then I used a filthy, well, broke is another word. I used a filthy word, but I didn't.
No.
I took enough heat on that. I won't say it again, but it's true. I mean, nothing changes, right? But we're going to go to San Francisco, and we're going to make it great. We're going to make it great. It'll be great. Again, San Francisco is a great city. It won't be great if it keeps going like this. Chicago's another one. So the head of the Union Pacific, who you probably had on your show, he started off as like a conductor, and now he's the chairman. Sort of a great story. His father worked for the railroad. The Union Pacific, great company. And he was in my office, and I talked to him because he knows all the cities. He said, sir, save Chicago. It's a great city. We're going to lose Chicago. Save Chicago. That was 2 months ago. And I said, let's do it. And I met with like this legal force. And don't forget, and I haven't used it, but don't forget, I can use the Insurrection Act. 50% of the presidents almost have used that. And that's unquestioned power. I choose not to. I'd rather do this. But I'm met constantly by fake politicians that think that, you know, it's not like a part of the radical left movement to have safety. These cities have to be safe. Our cities that are Democrat-run, exclusively just about, are unsafe cities. They're a disaster. And I'm going to save the cities. You know, I didn't run on that. I ran on crime, but I didn't run on straightening out the city.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.